Hello, my little crones, my little munchkins, and my little chickens. How are you today? Well, I hope that you are feeling fabulous. And as for me, I'm feeling copacetic, So anyway, over the weekend, there has been so many stories, and a couple of shocking stories. But out of all of the stories, this particular story I thought I would be done with. I wouldn't worry about it. I don't have to have nothing else to say about it. But Beyonce comes right back in my lap again because I run across this pastor named Bishop Patrick, I think, Wooden, and he gave this video on Beyonce, and I think I'm going to start my recap with this. I lived all my life in Christianity, so I understand Christianity well, being a minister of Christianity, and I liken to believe that I was a very good Bible student. Because I'm a type of person, I don't want to do something if I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, do I know everything about the Bible, everything that's in, everything that's... Of course not. No one does. But I know it. Oh, maybe a rabbi. Maybe a rebbe. But he wouldn't know the New Testament. Maybe he would. I don't know. All I know are these are a lot of stories. These are stories. These are fables. They are... they're there to help us. And so many of us take them literally. And I think Christianity, because that's what I'm most familiar with, is Christianity. They take things literally. So when it comes down to Beyonce, and you got to understand that Beyonce does have a mask or a mask. Is it mask? M-A-S-S? She has a mask or mask. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. And just back in April, she had a mass ceremony in Great Cathedral or Grace Cathedral. I'm doing this off the cuff because I wrote notes on this. And she got a Grammy. So what got me to be digging a little bit, because I wanted to understand Beyonce made a movie and she got this Grammy for her video. And I was looking on HBO. You know how you looking and it says Beyonce, but I didn't find no video. Like, you know how you thinking it's an HBO special? No, it is a Beyonce special that Beyonce put on HBO. She's a very, very resourceful and a very, very powerful woman. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying. I heard Kimberly Kardashian say, she said, I have so many people in my Rolodex that I can call any number and they will do what I ask them to do. She has people like that. So how many people do you think that Beyonce and Jay-Z have as a couple that they could just go boop, 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 and get a job done? That's so deep to me. So anyway, that leads me to Christianity, and that leads me to the understanding and let you all know that Beyonce has prepared a mask or a place where you can go, women, and gays that feel rejected. And is it right or wrong? She has a place where the best way that I can interpret it is where she is the goddess. Okay, this is where it's going to get tricky for you all. In voodoo, they have a high priestess. You understand? In other religions, there are women that take place in authority. I don't like the fact that because you are a Christian that you're going to deify someone as a Satan worshiper. I probably would have too, and I know that I have in my past. You understand? Out of ignorance. Because someone doesn't follow the way that you follow, don't demonize them, okay? Okay, Let me go another way. If you want to live the straight and the narrow, and you want to live that life, and you want Christianity first and forefront, Christianity, the devout Christianity, and you don't want to be you don't want to be a Catholic, but you want to be a Christian that listens to good gospel and shouting, preaching, and a fiery message, and you want to live and you want to be in a congregation where if you're not like that, when you walk into the church, you're going to appear to be like that. And that is Geno Jennings. Geno Jennings. This is what he believes. And this is what I have to say to everyone out there. If you're in the Christian world, why are you listening to Beyonce? Why are you over there in that strange puddle? Why are you over there? Why are you listening to that music, Kim Cattrall? Why are you singing Beyonce music? Did you know that this album was for her gays? I had an issue with that. Because music should be for all your people who you support. But nevertheless, that's the problem. She's incorporating and she's saying, a part of my church, you're welcome. My mask, you're welcome. Now, just because you don't buy into what someone believes or what someone do, stop deifying them. You know better than what they were back in the Dark Ages. When someone went against your belief, you called them witches. You know, it's kind of funny when I was looking at his church, Patrick, when he was just making sure, because he is correct. But why are you over there? Why is your congregation over there? Why are your Christians out there like that? Y'all, I'm going to be honest, you're a bunch of hypocrites. You want the world to follow you, but you don't even follow the word. And yet you go over there. What are your parishioners doing over there listening to Beyonce? Why is Kim Cattrall, who was against gay people, why is she singing a gay anthem? Why are you worried over there about Beyonce, church girl? Why are you listening to these things? I am perplexed. They're not for you, church people. You are supposed to live a separatist life. You're supposed to be, I'm about Christ. But you all play the fence. You're like waves of water, caught up in everything. But you're famous for calling Christianity in a crisis. If you're not a part of the faith, don't be. And you want to make it what you want. Look, let me be 100 with you. Christianity do not allow homosexuals. Point blank, period. They don't allow it. Neither does Judaism. Neither does Islam. So if you want, you're going to have to figure out another religion and make it your own. So Beyonce is doing that and she's getting demonized. This is a way where you can go and worship and not be judged. For any woman. And honestly, if that's what they choose to do, baby Crone, is there anything wrong with that? If so, check me right now where I sit.
No, there's nothing wrong with it, but if it's do they worship Beyonce at this mass?
Does it matter? Christians worship a Jesus they never met.
Yeah, you're right.
Does it matter?
No.
They can see Beyonce.
Yeah, at least she real.
And I don't really think that they are worshiping Beyonce. I think that they are recognizing that she's pulling all this together. You just got to see one of her masks. I showed you one.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying to those that are still in Christianity. And you want to know why there's a great falling away. It's a great falling away because either you fit in it or you don't. And what you true Christians, you last of the bunch that's sticking in this faith, you need to really think about, is this what you want? Do you want to sacrifice your life? Because if so, then this is a life of a separatist. You're not supposed to be like the world, be in the world, but not of the world. And so many of you walk the fine line, and it makes every last one of you hypocrites. And this is why people are leaving Christianity. Not only do you, but why? Because you have hypocrites in the pulpit. Hypocrites. Liars and cheaters and homosexuals, child molesters, stealers, unholy, ungodly. You have all that in the pulpit, and you over there worried about Beyonce. Y'all know what? I don't like to really read. You just get, and I understand. You got so much to say. Instead of cleaning up your own backyard, you over there reading Beyonce, and then you can't not even practice abstinence. Then if you practice abstinence, then all you want to do is hurry up and get married. And don't care who you marry, so then you're divorcing. It's just crazy. So as for me, I left Christianity because it didn't fulfill me. Would I get a miracle every 10 years? That's what my issue was. When I would pray, I got no help. It would be like banging and banging. Now some of you may not identify, and God bless you. If it worked, would you stick with it? But be faithful to it. It wasn't working for me, and God knows I tried. Like a bad marriage. You know how a marriage can start out, a relationship can start out really, really good, and then all of a sudden something shifts and changes, and then the person is not the same. Well, that's what it was like for me. And now that I am living a different path, I feel more freer. But I still believe in the Bible. Maybe not like a Christian, because I see it for what it is. And with that being said, I hope that made sense. And if it seemed like I just came off, I'm sorry. It's just that, Christians, what are you doing? You're embarrassing, actually. At least when I was a Christian, I was 100%. I was in. I did some things, that I wouldn't have done, like rush to get married, so I wouldn't feel like an adulterer. It made me do things without thinking, just to please a God. So many things. Not be in the world. I was a separatist, didn't listen to music, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I tell you, it feels so freeing for me to be in control of my life. I can't be in control of every second, but I can be in control of the decisions that I make. And I know that the decisions that I make are my own. And I try to make my decisions based on what feels right for me. I hope that that's just something to help someone to think. Baby Crone, was that over the top? How long was that?
That was 14 minutes.
Was that just too long?
No.
Should I go on and do the other hot topic, or should I just end this?
Yeah, let's just make this a Beyonce.
It's okay. So you know what? I hope that I help other people out there with this, because this came across my page, and I just don't understand why you Christians keep wandering off to strange places. You know what is expected of you. And if you cannot walk the line, you deceive no one but yourself. When you're sleeping in a bed with a man and you know that is not, when you're having babies, you're out of the will of your God. You know how your God thinks. You know what Christ told you. He even told you about a burning hell. And most of all, he told you about what he thought of hypocrites. You know, he told you what he thought about the Sadducees and the Pharisees and the scribes. He told you. And if you're going to follow it, then you got to be willing to follow it. No one's making you. Because this is an individual walk. And if you know you can't walk it, then you need to leave. And a lot of people feel like I can't. The way Christianity works, if you don't work it, it won't work you. It will not work if you're living a life of lies. You'll find yourself wanting and wanting. If you live in a lie, it will show you everything you do, and you'll be in chaos and turmoil. Because frankly, I just think that it's a walk that is impossible to do. I've seen great men of God get tangled up like T.D. Jakes with his daughter. That really bothers me. You know what I dig about Joel Osteen? At least he left. Jamal Bryant? I mean, I have to name him because, you know, Marlon. How many? How many have stumbled? How many have taken their lives? How many? Noel Jones? How many has been tangled, died? The walk is almost impossible. Jim Baker? What's his name? I can't think of him. He's real Baptist. Jimmy Swaggart. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on. Not mentioning priests. This life, when you think and choose it, there are people that say they love God, but they don't even know how to love their sister-in-laws, their brother-in-laws. They're selfish and they want to take everything. I mean, all I'm saying is, after my rant is, it's a lot to being a Christian. It's a walk that you have to walk day by day, step by step. And it can be a lonely walk. You are not supposed to connect yourself with people that don't think like you. If you have an issue with these teachings, then Christianity is not the faith for you. If you have an issue with these teachings, Judaism is not the faith for you. If you have an issue with this, Islam is not the faith, because they all kind of like under the same Bible with their own tweaks in it. And you know, let me say this thing about Beyonce on my closing. What Beyonce did when she mentioned, now maybe she was just zealous at the time she did this. Maybe she was enraged. Maybe she came into her truth. Maybe she felt duped by Christianity, because when you get woke, you're going to struggle. And men have men to go to, but women have nobody to go to. When I woke up, I was a lost puppy. I really was. I didn't know where to go. You feel horrible. It's a detoxing of being in mind control, brain control. You're like waking up and everything you was taught, you feel deceived. And I mean lied to. And when the truth comes, it's going to come. So if you seek it and you want it, it will come to you. Will you be ready to hear it when it comes? The thing that what made Beyonce thing, I think, was really inhuman to me is when she said that she take her menses, she takes the pages of the Bible, and she used them as a tampon. If that's not a denouncement of Christ, I've said this how many times, baby Crone?
It's several times.
If this is not a denouncement of Christianity in your face, why are you every Christian that declared that they are Christians should have ran in horror. Every Jewish person that said they were Jewish should have ran in horror. Every Muslim that was Muslim that's true, and I'm being 100. This has nothing to do with Beyonce. This is dealing with what Beyonce said. Why? Because it was sacrilegious. The man was correct when he said not even a normal person would think to take something that's deemed to be holy. Now, you may say, well, how do I know? Well, I don't know about the Muslims, but I'm pretty sure. But I do know about the Jews. That when a woman comes on her menses, she is considered unclean. She is not to lay with her husband. She is not supposed to do anything that is going to cause her to be around people unclean. And then after she has had her after she has had her time of the menses, then she has to go through a purification and a mikvah. If I'm saying wrong, I apologize. But before I left Christianity, I studied Judaism. And that's where I found most of my peace. For the last, 25 years, maybe 20. No, it had to be like 15 years or so. And now it's just like I just can't be a part of anything because it's too strenuous and it stresses me out to try to be perfect. And most of all, it stresses me out to try to worship something outside of me. So I struggle. But nevertheless, this is what outrages me. But I don't judge her. She has a right to do what she wants to do. And if you wasn't over there, you wouldn't know about it. You're a played offense. But I'm going to tell you, it's separation time. It's time for you to choose to stay where you want to be. As the church would say, do you want to be standing with the lambs, or do you want to be standing with the goats? Because right now I'm considered a goat. And a goat, what is a goat? I don't even know what a goat is. So, you want to be standing with the lamb? Or you want to be standing here with the goat? It's how you believe. But the day of just thinking you can have it all is fading away. The church is dying. And if you're going to be a part of it as it sinks, like the Titanic slowly, and as you hear these pastors sing the last song of melodies of hell, as they go down again, I just have one question. Don't judge me. Where is Jesus? Maybe I should ask it another way. What do you think, baby Crone?
No, that was pretty much it.
Where is Jesus the Christ, the Son of the living God? That's all I'm asking. Because right now, the church is in critical condition. After all these years, we're watching it sink. And we see those are still in there holding on. But are they? Or are they hypocrites? Is the church really filled with a bunch of hypocrites? Or do a lot of people go to church because it feels good to them? Because when they leave outside, they go right back into the hell that they left. What is it, baby Crone? Help me. Don't leave me out here to drown by myself. You said make it a whole episode, so let's do it.
I'm not really sure about religious people and going to church or what they do outside of church, but Yeah, it just seems like a double life.
A double life, and you're being called out. These are the times where every book is open and things are being revealed. So playing church and all this is a thing of the past. Pastors and magicians having babies out of wedlock, cheating and lying on your wives, homosexuals in the church, knowing that this is an abomination, and struggling, mistreating your wives, having an affair, going out there getting monkey pox and bringing that crap home to your wife and your babies and your children. Wake up. Beyonce is not your problem. Hypocrisy. It's a lie. Most of you live a lie. You're nice to others, but you're nice to your family, but you're mean to others. You go to work, people don't even like you. Sometimes you're so religious that all you do is talk about religion, and yet when somebody asks you a profound question, you don't even know how to answer it, so you start arguing. My God. Look, I'm not on here to bash Christianity, but what I am here to do is stop blaming everybody, Beyonce and everybody else, for the demise of the sinking ship. Instead of blaming Beyonce, you should be saying, "Where art thou, Jesus the Christ, the Son of the living God?" He ain't coming. Okay. But what is coming is a new age. What is the name of it, honey? Holocene or what is it?
I would have to look it up.
Athrocene, the new age, where everybody going to have to learn to start getting along. It ain't going to be about the color of your skin. And this is a galactic thing that we're entering in. Our elevations of thinking is going to get bigger and wider. This is going to be an individual walk because everybody is going to have to learn to walk and choose what is right from them for themselves within the inside of them. And it's not going to be anybody for you to follow. You're going to have to follow you. You're going to have to follow those that are like-minded. Because you can't follow the church because they're leading you astray. Most of all, why would anyone want to serve a God that at the end of your journey, if you don't live right according to judgment, you get burnt in hell? Think about that. That doesn't even make sense. No parent will do that, and no loving parent will do that to their own children. You know, your God comes off to be a monster. I know I may be hurting other people's feelings, but please, I'm not here to hurt your feelings. I'm just here to shake you and make you realize either you're in or you're out. There is no middle of the road. And stop blaming Beyonce, me, or anybody for your demise. The truth is, the walk is so hard that not even a true man of God can walk it. Because from what I see, T.D. Jakes stumbled because of his daughters and his sons. I don't know what to say. And the reason why I say T.D. Jakes, because he's huge to me. I don't know about anybody else. I'm not trying to take him off his throne. I just think it's unfair. You're going to be unfair to your children. You're going to be fair to your children, but the other children that you didn't give birth that don't live in your house, you're not fair to them. I just have an issue with it all. It's just my opinion. Is there anything else I need to say about this?
Not that I can think of.
So anyway, all I'm saying to you, it's time to really just start really thinking about what it is and what it is you want. It's time to get off the fence and stop straddling. Because if you're going to be on Beyonce, be on Beyonce's side. If you're not going to be on her side, just leave her alone. Stop it. You don't have to understand it. She is not your soul to save. Save your own. Well, with that being said, did I say enough?
Yeah.
Was I too harsh?
No.
If I was harsh, and if I said anything to offend, I want to say I'm sorry, and I'm sorry. So I'll say that. I'm sorry if I spoke my truth and it hurt your feelings, but I'm not sorry for what I said. I hope that you will continue to watch me. I hope that you will continue to subscribe and thumb me up. Because at the end of the day, I'm on your side. Because if you want peace in your life, you're going to have to choose. You're going to have to choose what brings you peace. If you're in the church and you're living with your boyfriend, you know that that is not acceptable according to church rules. I didn't make them. But you're like, but I can't live without the church. But I can't live without my boyfriend. You need to choose. Think about that. Because according to Christianity, he said these words, woe unto you hypocrites. He said, I would prefer, he said this is the issue that he had with the Laodicean church, well anyway, the last day church. He said, I would prefer that you be hot or cold, but you lukewarm, and your lukewarmness make me nauseated, that I vomit you out of my mouth. Choose. You can't hide. There is nowhere to hide now. The blankets are off. That teaching now about hell and all that, you've been living it. What do you mean? If you want to be married and you out there sleeping around, you already living in hell. Every time you burning in your flesh because you're lying, you're feeling, you're perplexed, you're confused. You're not even happy. When you walk in the church, you feel bad. Free yourself. Decide. If you're going to give and live for Christ, give it to Christ. If not, and if you feel like you can't, there is one pastor that I think that could whip you into shape, unless his church is full of hypocrites, and I wouldn't be surprised. And that's Geno Jennings, because he is the most fiery, meanest pastor. And I know that he would say he's not mean, but to me, I am so glad that I'm not his daughter nor his son. Whew, Lord. But if you're born in that, it is what it is. I'm just saying, I don't know, am I rambling or am I making sense at this point? I just felt like I had to say something, and it just grieves my spirit to see these men of God. They say, and they got to speak on things like what Beyonce said. These things ought not to hear their ears. Your word of God says, be holy. What is holiness? Stay away from everything. You want to know what holiness is? Just follow the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not fornicate. Honor thy mother and thy father. Don't steal. Don't lie. Don't covet. In other words, don't be cheating and taking your neighbors or your best friend, girlfriend, or boyfriend, or husband. Don't go trying to steal somebody's baby. Coveting. Somebody's boy coveting. I'm just saying, I don't want to come off as a teacher, but I just see the despair of the churches. And when I see men of God out there saying things, it just it grieves my spirit. Really. Whew, I'm going to attempt again to end this. I hope that you understand. If it comes off as a rant, I apologize. It's just that I understand Christianity. Either you're in it or you're not. Just like being an Orthodox Jew or being a real Jew. Not every Jew, just because you're born Jewish, not every Jew follow Judaism. Some Jews just do the holidays. That's why they got a lot of different sects in Judaism. But they are saying the same thing. That's why they have a lot of different groups. But if you're going to be Orthodox or Hasidic or reform, whatever you choose to be. You choose to go where you feel welcome. But you Christians going to go everywhere and do what you want to do, and not rightfully so. When you have pastors in the pulpit wearing Gucci, when you have pastors, but many of you want your pastors to look like that, greater than you. Whew. And until you learn that the truth you seek is within you, not on the outside of you. These men and women are there supposed to guide you into the ways of truth. And when they stumble, believe me, you stumble too. I don't know what else to say. All I guess I'm trying to say is follow your heart. Follow what you know to be is right. Study to show yourself approved. Seek out truth. And if you can't read, you know what, they got books on tapes. You could get the Bible on tape. You can get commentaries on tape. There is no excuse. You could go to the library. There is no excuse to walk in darkness. The days of playing are over. These are the days of separation. I'm saying it to you in a calm manner. You know the times. You see the times that before you. You know what your Christ told you when you see these things. Saying, look at the time and do what you feel is best. Do that make sense?
Yes.
So with that being said, with no judgment, this is a place where you will find love. I don't judge at all, but I lived my whole life in Christianity. And for the last 20 years, I was a devout Christian. Yes, I preached, taught, loved it. But it wasn't, I could never be healed in it. I was never healed. And now that I walked away from it, it was hard. I find healing. Because now when I fall. And I don't have anybody to blame now but me. And that's such a load. Because I realize I don't want to hurt me. And being in Christianity has taught me a lot. Most of all, it taught me discipline. And it taught me right from wrong. And I still study the Bible, love the Bible, use it, talk about it to this very day. It's a very part of the language that I have. So with that being said, I hope that you understand. I hope that I wasn't offensive, but I just wanted to step and tell you these things. So please, I'm not going to tell you leave Beyonce alone. Just understand that Beyonce is not a part of your faith anymore, and you ought not to be over there in hers if you call yourself a Christian. And Kim Cattrall, why are you singing her music when you know that is for gay people? And all the things that you said about gay people, you look really, really like a hypocrite. You look, if you're going to stand for something or stand for nothing, because if you're standing for the faith, the church should back you up. But you shouldn't be thinking that the world is. I mean, whew, here I go again. Okay, I'm going to try to stop it. Okay, all right. Well, anyway, that's what Larry Reid does. So I'm going to just gracefully bow out and hope that you receive this good news. Because I don't judge you at all. Because I'm too busy working on me. With that being said, have a pleasant day. Ciao, my little munchkins, my little crones, and my little chickens. Come on back in a little while. I'm going to do hot topics. Ciao.